Disclaimer: I am not a spokesperson for the USPS, nor do I speak on their behalf. I am an active employee who works as a clerk. I have this channel based on educational purposes only.
What is up, YouTube? It is your girl Creole Barbie here with USPS Vlog. If you're new to my channel, welcome. What I do here on my channel is I make tons of videos pertaining the USPS. I give you my overall insight on the postal experience as well as my journey. Be sure to check out my USPS playlist where I have tons of videos pertaining USPS and will answer all of your questions that you may have. I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and I finally have some time to do it. So let's get straight into it. One thing I want to talk to you guys about is that there's a lot of people that email me on a day-to-day basis about wanting to become management. Now, I know some people are like, man, really? You want to go to the dark side? Do you really want to go to the dark side? But I'm not going to say that here on my channel because I encourage everybody to find out what it is they want to do when working at the post office. But I will tell you this, it's not as easy as individuals think, meaning you might have a lot of experience from being in the management positions or supervisor positions at your current job or the jobs you had in the past. You might even have excellent high-level education that will definitely qualify you for some positions. The truth is, when becoming management, they want you to do these few things right here. So I want you guys to pay close attention to what it is I have to say in this video. Therefore, you could take these necessary steps when trying to become management. And hopefully, you can make a change and change the morale that sometimes we have within the post office when it comes to how employees see supervisors and management. They may not have the best reputation, but when we get good people that are in leadership, hopefully those things will change. So let's jump into it. When you're trying to become a supervisor at the USPS, now, this is what they want you to do. They want you to build a postal profile. Barbie, what is a postal profile? A postal profile is this. They want you to build something like a portfolio, but make it post office related only. Does that make sense? So let me give you an example. Sally wanted to become management. Sally has been working at the USPS for quite some time. At her last job, she had supervisor position. She was a operational manager. She even pushed up to becoming a district manager. Sally wanted to now take those things that she learned from her previous job and implement it at the Postal Service. Well, Sally is able to do that, but Sally must request to become a push-up. That's building your postal profile. When you become a push-up, it helps you. Now, what is a push-up? A push-up is a detail position. It's almost like a 204B, but you're in detail to be a 204B, if that makes sense. So what happens with that is that you're still in craft. However, you're in detail. You're able to push up for, I believe it's 90 days. And then you have to go back into your craft and work for at least 2 weeks. And then you're able to go ahead and push up again. That is what a push up is. You're in detail for that position. Typically, this is what I tell everybody. When you are in detail, it's best to learn everything there is to know, especially if you have never worked those areas before. This is why I tell people it's important to, when you are working in the post office, it's best for like clerks and even mail handlers. See what the other areas are doing. Understand what they're doing, because you never know when it's your time to shine. When they call overtime in different units, sometimes it's best for people to do that overtime in those units and learn. In your craft, there should be nothing that you don't know. There's a lot of things in the clerk craft that people should know there's different units that you can work in. Therefore, it's best to learn as much as you can, because when you become a push-up, you're expected to know these things. You're over people now. They're going to see you as a supervisor now. So you can't be asking them questions, because they're not going to want to answer those questions to help you, because they expect you to know. That's something to keep in mind, is to understand the job task of where you'll be working and know it. Granted, they'll have you in training with a supervisor of that unit, and they'll be telling you this, A, B, X, Y, and Z. But sometimes these supervisors get so busy and overwhelmed, they don't have time to help you. And they'll just leave you in the dust. There's a lot of people that became push-ups, and they were just telling me, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I didn't learn anything. They came down here and told me to do this, but I don't know. So you have to have that mindset of understanding, and understanding quickly. Another thing is, I tell people this all the time when you're building your postal profile. Now, this is what a lot of people don't understand. They want to become the supervisors coming straight in. And yeah, PSCs are allowed to do that. But do you really know your job task that well? And are you familiar with the other fundamentals of the job tasks at hand in the craft? Yeah, you can be trained and learn those things, but it's so much easier when you know these things at hand, at best, without thinking. You've done it. You've worked in those areas, so you know. Another thing I tell anybody, it's important to don't forget where you come from when you are in the push-up position. There's a lot of times when people are pushing up, and yeah, those push-ups sometimes turn into red badges. I've seen plenty of people who were in detail positions and they became actual supervisors. They went through the interviewing process to become a supervisor. That's something that you would have to do. Once you are done with pushing up, they'll then offer you a chance to become a supervisor by taking the interview. And when you're pushing up, you don't forget where you come from, meaning that at any given moment, you could be set right back down. So don't sit there and just abuse your authority or go to the next heightened level with it. Don't get the extra big head like some people do. Not knowing your job fundamentals can get you sat down quicker. There's people that has been pushing up, that I've known been pushing up for months and have never sat down. Only time they sat down is when they have to go back into so they don't lose their bid. Go back and craft for 2 weeks, and then they were back pushing up. Then there's people that were pushing up and they got sat down because they didn't know the job fundamentals, or they weren't trying to understand it. Those things are very important. This all goes into play when you're building your postal profile, is making sure that you start somewhere, which is pushing up in a detailed position, understanding the fundamental of the job functions. Those are important. And also understanding that wherever you pushing up at might not be where you regularly work at. When you're pushing up, you could be anywhere on any different floor. When you become a supervisor, you could be a supervisor over any craft at that time. There's people that were mail handlers, and when they became supervisors, they became clerk supervisors, and vice versa. It's good to really understand what's happening, what's going on. It's like a domino effect. You have to start from somewhere to build your way up. I'm showing you how you can build yourself up. When it comes to friends, when you are in those detailed positions, there has to be a thin line when business and friendships. That's why I tell a lot of people to stand on business. At the end of the day, if you're going to surround yourself with people, make sure the people that you surround yourself with are hardworking individuals, to where it does not interfere with your friendship. It would be a shame to have friends who know that you're in this position and they choose to slack off, and now you're being forced to address them about something that can impact your friendship. So I tell people all the time, be mindful of who you surround yourself with and who you call friends. At the end of the day, I feel like when you at work, yeah, there's good people that you work with, but in all actuality, sometimes we use the word friend a little bit too loosely. Okay, so just keep those things in mind, you guys, when it comes to that. Always pay respect to individuals, because when you respect your workers, they're going to have respect for you. Even if you have to address them because something that they're doing, just know the proper way to address people. Talk to people how you want to talk to them and treat them how you want to be treated, because you know you were once in craft. That's why I don't get why some managers or supervisors feel as if they can just talk to people any kind of way, because at some point in their time in their postal career, they were once in craft. You just didn't get where you are from nothing. There was a starting point. All right, you guys. So that's pretty much it when it comes to building your postal profile. Take these steps, and I'm telling you guys, and it'll take you far. Also, I will suggest this. Yes, a lot of people want to come and go straight in again as a supervisor when they just get hired on. But understand this. You got to know your work environment too. You got to know your work environment and let people get familiar with seeing you. Gain respect amongst your peers, because that is going to carry you a long way when having to work over them, or when having to be a leader when it comes to being in this type of position. A lot of times when people just hop straight in and they're new, you got the veterans there, they're stuck in their ways. And trust me, the veterans know their work. They know their job inside and out. They can do it times 10. And they will dare you to say something to them about anything that they're doing, because they feel like you don't know because you just got here. So with that being said, give a little time under your belt. Let people get familiar with seeing you. Then jump into it. But if not, if you feel like you're ready, then do it. I'm not going to discourage anybody from chasing their dream or where they're trying to go. Okay? So this is going to wrap up my video, y'all. I just literally got off of work. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Your girl been doing her overtime. But I wanted to go ahead and touch bases with you guys about this topic. Comment below how you feel about it. In the meantime, you guys, I'm about to go to bed. So I will see y'all later. Deuces.